No,
I just trust a guy standing there.
I wouldn't.
Because we don't have anything to measure how this thing is affecting us.
I agree, but I wouldn't kill. He's holding his daughter, hands in the air. I would have
Might not
called
have
for.
been
I
his
would have.
daughter. That might not be his daughter.
Okay.
It could be a sex doll, and he's just a freak. Who knows? But yeah, we're just gonna start this shit live.
The only time I caught the Holy Ghost was when I was in church drinking.
Like, they're two dumb dudes. Welcome to the latest episode of Sarath and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. Are we? Are we professionals?
Yes, indeed. You know what makes us professional?
What?
The fact that when we put our minds to something, it's gonna get done.
I don't know if that really makes us a professional.
Yeah, that's what makes. Yeah,
just because you put your mind to something, it gets done.
Yeah,
I feel like money's got to have something to do with becoming a professional.
No, that just means people like you.
No, it's like if you put your mind to being a bum, you can be a bum. But if someone pays you to be a bum, now you're a professional bum.
You're. I can't roll with that. I'm a little bit like Michael Jordan. He was a professional, no matter what. He wanted to win.
Yeah. Because if you out on the park playing ball, you're just a brother playing ball in the park. But once you start getting paid, now you're a professional ball player, right?
But the will to win doesn't desire money.
What?
The will to win doesn't desire money.
I didn't say you was a good professional. I'm just saying you're a professional. There's a lot of shitty professionals out there, bro.
You know what? Very true.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say what a certain Broncos quarterback got paid to lose this season, but it's all good.
All right, fair enough.
He's a professional. He got paid to be a professional.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
Oh God. Okay, here we go. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to side B of Sarath and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. And side B is whatever we decide to talk about. Series, cartoons, music, anything streaming.
Yes, anything entertainment wise in the spectrum of entertainment, it's whatever we decide to chat about will be on the side B of this album. Obviously, if you look at our logo, it's made to look like an album cover for a reason.
Yeah, back in the day when CDs were popping.
Yeah. Exactly. So since this is the first episode of Sarath and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast, side B, why don't you tell the folks what we're talking about with this series?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have decided to start side B with The Last of Us.
Yes. Now, for those who don't know, The Last of Us is a brand new show on HBO MAX starring what's his name? Pedro Pascal.
I'm way in there.
Yeah, but I mean it's a new show on HBO MAX, but that's not where it started off.
Okay.
The Last of Us actually started off as a video game on PlayStation.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Bro, it's on the PlayStation I left at your house. So all you gotta do is log in and play.
I like to play real life.
Yeah, he likes pressing buttons, that
preferably two that equals to a third.
Just don't grab the joystick. Do you have any other video game adaptations that you're a fan of? Because historically, video adaptations of in movies, TV shows have gotten like a bad rap. Like the old Super Mario Brothers movie, Double Dragon, those are all like cult classics, but they didn't really set the box office on fire. Like, do you have one that you connected with?
I actually feel like, I can't say I connected with it, but it actually did a good job. Was Mortal Kombat.
The original?
The original and the new one that came out 2 years ago. They both like everybody knows Mortal Kombat is that game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for them to make a movie, I feel like the original and the new make were pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, I'll agree because like I think up until recently with like the Sonic the Hedgehogs and stuff
Mhm.
like that, and maybe that new Super Mario Brothers movie is coming out. Like, yeah, I think my favorite video game adaptation of a movie wise was the original Mortal Kombat. On that
Okay.
soundtrack, bro.
I'm about to say the soundtrack was what it is. That
Yeah,
dun, 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 dun,
yeah,
dun, dun, dun.
that had hood dudes dancing to techno.
I can actually play it on the piano. Go figure.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait. I gotta hear that.
Really?
Yeah, I've
Like,
never heard you. I've never heard you play the piano. Period. So
oh,
I want to hear you. And
okay. Yeah. Yeah. I got you.
yeah. All right.
I know
So
the chords.
off rip, episode 1. Like, does this seem like a series that's gonna keep your attention? Because whether it keeps your attention or not, we're watching the whole series.
Yeah, we didn't watch the whole damn shit. I know.
Yeah, so
And honestly, I'm not sure it will.
really, just give me a little explanation on that. I'm curious.
Because after watching the first episode, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching and listening, and you watch the series, you all know that he's a single dad with a mixed child. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
um, all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
He loses his child, and he lives on to the future. And he's trying to, what I grasped from the first episode, he
Yep.
wants to get to his brother.
Yeah.
So, the first episode had my attention, but it's up to the second episode to keep my attention.
Yeah. I'll
And
agree with
that's
that.
the way I feel. That's the way I feel.
I'll agree with that. I mean, I liked it because I love. I mean, I'm familiar with the video game. I haven't played it in a long time, so I don't remember the nuances of it all. But like, if I'm just going by the show,
Mhm.
and with the show, like I liked it because it established who his character was. Joel, that character was as a father figure and someone who's like caring for his daughter, but still trying to just make ends meet. He's putting in work
Mhm.
to work for his family. Like, it's
Mhm.
his daughter's birthday, and he decided to work a double to just try to make some extra money,
Yeah.
you know? And then, you know, things transpired and put him in a position to where he's gotta, try to learn how to live life again in this new scenario without the people he loves.
Mhm.
And it's I don't know how I would feel if I was in that situation.
Me either, because
You're a father, so like you got to ask yourself, like, losing the idea. I don't want you to think about it, but the idea of losing a child,
mhm,
in a like a hellish scenario like that, like how would you go about that situation?
in that situation, based on the show when everything was happening and all the people going crazy and planes crashing and everything else,
Yeah,
so you can only hope that somebody trusts you, because he knew he was clear.
yeah,
And the soldier was like, okay, but he got a radio call. And whatever that radio call said was execute him.
yeah.
And you can, like I said, you can only hope that somebody trusts who you are.
Do you, in that kind of scenario, do you blame a soldier for reacting like that in that situation?
Yes and no. Because the soldier made a move after he got an order
Yeah,
from the radio.
yeah,
And as a soldier from before, I've come to learn you're the one that pulls that trigger. No
yeah,
matter who says what, you're face to face with it.
yeah,
So you can sit there, because let's just say that he was an important person,
yeah.
like a very important person, and whoever's on that mic was like, "Nah, take him out." Whoever, even though they gave you the order, you pulled the trigger.
Hmm.
You pulled it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I can understand following orders, but I also understand being your own man.
No, I see, I get that, but at the same time, like, okay, so we got to. It's a little different in this scenario because in this
Yeah,
scenario, there's a pandemic going on,
yeah,
or
everything was going crazy.
Yeah, because like, it's at the beginning of the show, they explain that like, one of the most dangerous things isn't maybe not even a pandemic or a virus. It's a fungus
Mm,
that can take over the body because the fungus has the ability to, affect your brain and like make you think differently, make you act differently. And they were using examples. I forget what they were, but like LSD or
hmm.
like psychotropics, like all these different like mushrooms, which are fungus that like can make you hallucinate and basically change your brain chemistry.
Yeah.
And so the idea that like a fungus could not only you know kill off the human race, but change us and make us act in a way that we're not trying to act. So in that sense, you come across somebody out in the wild when all this shit is happening and you don't know who's infected or not. Yeah, I can't. Am I just gonna trust the dude standing there? I don't know. I don't know if I
No,
can just trust a guy standing there.
I
Like
wouldn't.
because we don't have anything to measure how this thing is affecting us.
I agree, but I wouldn't kill. He's holding his daughter, hands in the air. I would have
Might not
called
have
for.
been
I
his
would have.
daughter. That might not be his daughter.
Okay.
It could be a sex doll, and he's just a freak. Who knows? But
You know what? With that being said, going back to Titanic, yeah, looks can be deceiving.
yeah,
He's like, "Fuck y'all, I got dreams. I have a daughter." You know what I'm saying? Shit.
yeah.
But
But I mean,
I would at least call for backup or something like, "Hey," because there's a gut feeling. Everybody has a gut feeling in life. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Unless you're just a ruthless motherfucker. But it's like, eh,
yeah. But I mean, if you don't know how shit spreads,
yeah, okay,
it just it's. I hate to say I'd act a certain way in a situation just because like we've already seen last couple years how shit can get changed and shut down just like that. And like
yeah.
and at the time like I don't hold it. A lot of decisions were made that I think were dumb, but that's with 2020 hindsight. At the time you can't really blame anybody for acting a certain way when you're faced with something you know nothing about.
Mm,
you know I don't know.
true.
Did you think that the fungus took over a little too quickly?
No, actually, because the introduction was good to me because they're talking about the fungus,
Yeah, the
and then
that
they
the
go,
interview.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then they're going to the dad and his daughter and their lifestyle.
Mhm.
So when she wakes up and fireworks are going off and everything else, it's that element of surprise because I don't know if you remember, um, when she's looking for the DVD, the old lady's twitching in the back. I don't know
Yeah,
if you,
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
yeah. So I felt the timing and the pace was actually really really good.
Yeah, but I felt like okay, man, I guess because I don't know why. Because when everything was going down, when Joel and his daughter and Tommy were trying to get away,
Hmm.
it felt like the entire city was collapsing.
Yeah,
Which I don't know. I just don't know if it collapses that quickly because it was literally from like daytime to nighttime. The entire city collapsed.
but you got to remember they showed the time when he went to go get his brother it was like 11 o'clock,
Mhm.
and it was like 11, I think 13, and she woke up at 2:19.
Okay,
That's
so 3 hours.
yeah. So if I don't know if you've been to jail or not, I haven't. Just saying.
I don't want to see
but
where this goes. Okay.
but no, like he said, you got to get here to bail me out because I'm in here for the weekend. He's like,
Yeah.
all right, cool, I got you. And that can be time consuming, but let's just say when he got to the jail, it already started happening,
Yep.
and at that moment, you don't know who's being let out of the jail, what's going on. I don't know where the rifle came from, whatever.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it was just like shit started happening when he got to the jail, and it just went the way it went.
Yeah. I don't. I guess to me, it's one of those situations where it's like, do you know how many people have to cough on each other one by one for it to spread that quickly and then take over that quickly? That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I can see that, but we don't know how the virus got spread, how it even started.
Yeah. I get that, but that's why to me, like just from the outside looking in, I just looked at it like, man, this city went to shit in a couple hours.
Yeah.
which it can go to, like, I've seen the Vancouver Canucks throw a tantrum or throw a riot when they didn't win the Stanley Cup. So I can see how shit can go left very quickly. It
Hmm.
just, I don't know. I just I don't have a frame of reference to say how quickly a fungal virus would, spread.
Yeah, okay, I agree on that. And the only thing I can think of is if it was air released.
Yeah. If it was
But
released on purpose. Because
yeah,
it has to hit like a mass of people, right?
because for it to go that crazy in that little bit of time, what was
Yeah.
it, 3 hours?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It had to be released.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
I don't know if it did. I don't remember the game. So we'll know later on where this whole thing comes from. But
Hmm.
anyways, like after his daughter dies and it jumps like a 20-year jump.
20 years later. Yep.
Yeah. And you find Joel just like kind of just living. You find this one little white girl walking down the in the woods, and they take her into wherever the little compound
That
was.
was a little boy.
The little boy, little girl, I don't remember. I just remember they had long hair. He looked like little Joey. He had the little Joey Lawrence hair.
Okay. Um. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but no,
But
like they find the kid, and then like you kind of see where everybody's operating
mhm,
20 years after this whole thing went down, and
in Boston,
yeah. Well, first of all, that don't look like no kind of Boston I recognize.
me either. But especially in 2023, and we're here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
it didn't look like, I didn't even see nothing that looked like Fenway or downtown Boston. That shit looked like somebody painted LA to look like Boston.
it probably did. It's Hollywood, but
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah. But no, I like the fact that it was in Boston. Yeah,
Yeah.
exciting. But yeah, yeah. So and it looks like there's everybody's like looking for resources.
Mm-hmm.
So they have that, what, like if you step out of this quarantine area or wherever, you can get arrested or some shit like that,
Yeah.
and people
Cause
sneak out to go find shit.
yeah, cause he is, I guess, a city worker maybe, or just picks up jobs
Yeah,
that.
odd jobs to like pick up shit, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What do you think is the most important job in a dystopian civilization like that?
Staying alive. That's the most important job. But
No, I mean, just like to run, to keep everything running clean. Because everybody you watch like The Walking Dead, you watch all these movies, and it's always glamorizes the whole, we gotta go killing zombies and doing all this shit and doing all the crazy stuff. But like, imagine without all that, what do you think is the most important job? Like finding food, scavenging for food?
I would think so, unless money's a source.
But, I mean, who the
Because
hell?
they had what, it was paper, but it wasn't money.
Yeah,
So yeah, definitely finding food in a
finding
in a
food.
in a comfortable place to sleep.
Yeah, sources. No, but I'm not saying for just a person in general. I'm talking about like as a society. Say
Oh,
you got say you got 100 people, and everything goes to shit, and you got to start a little community with just these 100 people. What do you think is like the most important job to make sure those 100 people are working good?
food and shelter.
Yeah.
Those are always gonna be important to the end of time. So
I'm gonna be I say the community digger. He's the guy. That's the person that goes and digs holes so everybody can go take a shit, and then they fill them back up.
yeah, dig your own hole. Shit, fuck that.
But if you can get paid to do it.
What do you do? I'm a shit digger. Shit.
Uh,
Shit.
yeah, but they were like, what were they bartering? They were like trying to find batteries, right?
He wanted a battery, which I think was made for something. I think he had a truck.
It was like a truck battery.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he sold the cop some type of drug.
yeah,
I don't remember what it was.
yeah. Because he
But
was saying that like the cop was saying that his friend or his brother, someone in Atlanta, they only make that factory only makes two things:
mm,
bullets and pills.
yeah.
So whatever kind of pills they were, obviously, they're just pills to keep everybody, at least somewhat happy.
Mm,
But I know it looked like they were bartering like batteries and stuff, just things that are gonna help make travel easier. Like I can imagine, you know, after all the rechargeable batteries lose power, having a working car battery is gonna come in handy if you're trying
yeah.
to like drive somewhere. Otherwise, you're just walking everywhere.
Hmm.
So,
Um. Yeah. Yeah. If it's recharged, yeah. I guess. I'm just
because
thinking.
you don't think about that, right?
Well,
Necessarily.
no, you don't, because at the end of the day, you need a power source,
Yeah.
and as they say, desperate times call for desperate measures.
Mhm.
And a car battery is actually a major power source if you know how to hook it up correctly.
Yeah.
So
Because
I
I
get
mean,
that.
maybe this is overthinking it, but like you ever watch those old movies like fucking like Mad Max
Mhm.
and Cyborg and like all these movies where it's like there's in the future and everything's all decrepit and like people are just throwing shit together in order to survive, and
Mhm.
they're always searching for food, water, shelter,
And shelter, yeah.
but ain't nobody ever searching for fucking like timing belts for the cars or the things that help because like they all got trucks, but like they don't never, you know, where are we gonna get inner tubes to fill these tires up?
They use shoelaces, well, for the timing belt and everything,
Gotta
But I
make
don't know.
shoelace. You're gonna run a truck timing belt.
Just tie this some bitch up and make sure it's tight and call it a damn day.
No,
Spray it
but
down with some
you'll
type.
never notice that you'll never see anybody filling up tires with air
No,
in those
you know what?
movies.
You're right, because you know what? That's actually a good point. Because I done had a few blown out tires,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
unless you got some run flats, you ain't getting very far.
yeah, that should have ruined your day. Like you see all these cars smashing in each other. Don't none of them pop a tire.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, we're definitely overthinking.
Yeah, no, it is. But it's the details. It's the
Yeah.
details. Anyways, they come across they could eventually, they come across Elle, who's a little girl.
Okay.
I think her name was Elle, right?
I really don't remember.
Yeah. Uh, and then, but she's a little girl, and
Her
she
character, her character didn't stick to me.
we're gonna get into that.
Okay.
Get into that. But she has this what looks like remnants of being attacked because she has like the scar on her arm,
Mm-hmm.
and so everybody's freaking out, but they're like, nah, like leave her because apparently whatever's happening to these people should have happened to her and didn't happen.
Yeah, like she has the cure.
Yeah. So now it's all about getting her to wherever they're trying to go. So they're
Mm-hmm.
trying to deliver her to somewhere.
Yeah.
And originally the was it's like a resistance kind of group.
The the black chick and the mixed chick, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It belonged to some kind of resistance group. I forget. But
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, they were trying to get her somewhere and they got into like a firefight or whatever and people got shot.
Because
So
the same dude that stole the other people's battery was trying to sell it to
yeah.
them or whatever,
Yeah.
and all mayhem ended up happening. And she was like, "I can't take her because I'm bleeding out, but you can."
Yeah.
So
Oh, but before we even get to that, there was this one scene, and I'm curious to what you think about it. You know, the scene where Joel's friend, the lady, she had like the swollen eye, she got beat up.
yeah.
All right, so in the scene where like it's almost like she's getting interrogated, and
Mm-hmm.
like she's basically telling the guy, like, yeah, you stole I paid you for this truck battery, then you took that truck battery, sold it to someone else, and then took the money I gave you and spent it.
Yeah.
But she was just like, it is what it is. Just let's forget about it and let's keep going. And he was like, nah, like, because he in his mind is like,
He
some shit's gonna come back to me
yeah,
if you're just letting it go a little too easily.
because he knew her boyfriend, I guess was.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's what to call it.
Yeah.
And she was like, "I'll keep him off you." So I'm still confused about that, because if you can let that go so easily, why?
And that's my
And
question.
and then why did they beat you up? That's
Yeah.
like, what did she do?
Yeah. So my question with that is like, you know, what is life like for them to the point where something like that, she can just be like, that's just how life is right now. We can roll. Let's just roll. Let's just keep going. Otherwise, we're all gonna kill each other.
Unless she has a different agenda.
That's what I think she does. I think she's a schemer. I just don't know what kind of schemer yet.
Yeah.
But it's like back in I hate to compare it, but back in like the 1600s, 1500s, like, you know, your whole village, your whole town can get burnt and your whole family could get murdered because it's nighttime. Like that's just
Mm.
how savage shit was then. Is it
Yeah.
a possibility that like in this new world that they're living in, it shit's just so like, what's the word? It's so like high alert, and so like,
Well, the cop did say that. He said, "Don't be out tonight because we." He said we've been running so many hours,
yeah,
so it's easy to do a quick pop and not know what you're seeing.
yeah, but it's easy to mistake someone out there and shit like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So it could. I just wonder if it's one of those situations where like things are so fucking crazy that shit like that is just accepted as normal. People that
Mm.
are screwing other people over in order to get more.
In a situation like that, I can see that being possible.
Yeah, it's
You
like
know.
I ain't gonna fucking, I ain't gonna cry over spilt milk because
Mhm.
spilt milk can lead to someone dying. I don't know. I don't know. I'm spitballing ideas.
I mean, because it's the first episode, we have no idea what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like,
What do you what do you think? What's the thing you're looking forward to trying to figure out most after seeing this first episode?
why is the little girl so important?
Okay.
I hope he finds Tommy.
It's been 20 years though.
Yeah, but he said they communicated through radio.
Oh
Because
yeah,
remember,
yeah, 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 yeah.
so remember he brought the old dude the cigarette, whatever, and he was like, "What did he say? It's been 3 weeks, or something like that."
Yeah.
He's always responded. What's going on now?
Yeah.
So I want to know why is the little girl so important. Hope he finds Tommy, and that's really about it for me.
I knew what's crazy is like, one, I liked how they communicated to the radio. Like they had the little code. If you play a
Hmm.
song from the 70s, it means this. If you play a song from the 80s, it means this. That's actually a dope way of like
Oh yeah,
communicating.
yeah. I felt that because even when she was like, "What song did she say?" I guess something from the '80s, but it
Yeah.
meant trouble. So
Yeah.
she's obviously smart. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
All right.
And I think he picked up on taking care of her because of his own failure to take care of his own.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I
So
mean, do you feel like, I mean, yeah, let me ask, yeah. Do you feel like that is an instinct that just stays? Like if you lose one of your own, like you just, yeah, instinctually just have to go, not have to go find, but when you see someone else of, of age that's in trouble, you kind of lean towards, hey, I got to protect this person because I wasn't able to do it to my own.
yeah, I think it's instinctual for anybody that loses anything.
Yeah.
You know, whether husbands lose a wife or child, friend, whatever case may be. If you're ever faced with that scenario again, because I don't know if you've ever have been in a position like this, but whenever you're doing something and things are going crazy and you make a
Yeah.
decision and it doesn't work out right, you're gonna constantly think of what you could have did differently.
Yeah.
And when you're faced with that again, no matter what scenario it is,
Yeah.
you're gonna do what you know you should have did differently the first time,
Yeah.
no matter how brutal, how gruesome, how whatever it may be. So, um, yeah, I mean, you ever had a situation like that? Like where you something happened and you did what you thought was right at the moment, and then you think about it like I should have did something different, and then you're faced with something different and you do what's different.
So yeah, it's almost like you got a second chance to do right
Yeah.
by your choices. I don't know if I'm trying to think if I've ever had a situation in life where I've come across this same situation twice. I think I think the only time I've ever come across this, and it's gonna sound fucked up. It's not real fucked up.
Okay.
But I think the only time I really came across situations like that is like uh dealing with like raggedy bitches. And like, your situation where like you know you should cut it off, but you don't. So then the next time something comes around and that same situation comes up, you're like, oh, I know where this is going.
Yeah,
Off
and
right
you
now.
and you dead it off the back. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Raggedy bitches. Sorry, that is an insult to all the ladies out there. Just an insult to the raggedy bitches. Y'all know who
Yeah,
you
I'm
are.
about to say no insult. Some of these bitches are raggedy. It just is what it is.
All right. So here's one issue I had with this episode. And it's not necessarily with the episode, it's
Hmm.
with, I want to say, modern media,
Okay.
movies, television, video games, all that stuff. Like the one thing I and I gotta wait to see how the characters develop. But the one
Mm-hmm.
thing I had an issue with is Elle, the little girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry if that isn't her name. I'll see in episode 2. That is her
Yeah.
name. But the little girl, she doesn't come across as a little girl. She doesn't come across as young. She comes across as an adult, which leads
Okay.
me like in the way she talks, in her
Mm-hmm.
wit, and like how clever she is. Like she talks to Joel like they're
Equals.
equals of the same life experience.
Mm.
And I'm just looking at it, and it's sometimes I'm just like why is this child and this adult talking as if they've both been through the same amount of life?
Mm.
And I think that just comes down to like how witty someone writes a character. You know,
Okay.
You ever seen the movie Man on Fire with
Yes.
Denzel Washington?
Mm-hmm.
With him and like Dakota
The
Fanning.
co-defendant. Yeah.
Yeah, like she's a little girl and she's a great actress, but there's times when she talks and you're like, why are you talking like an adult? It's hard for me to it's I don't know, it's hard for me to like get behind the character when I'm just like, you're talking way too clever and intellectual for someone of your age.
Mm.
That's just, I don't know, from the outside looking in.
No, I feel like that's just the world we live in today, where babies having babies,
Yeah.
and they're all in the same room, partaking in conversations that babies shouldn't be a part of. So,
But do you think it's an aspect of like, especially in a movie where people are writing characters, like say if I'm writing a character for a movie and I'm writing it as if two adults are having the conversation
mhm.
instead of writing it as an adult and a child are having a conversation. That's what
Mm.
that's what I think it comes down to. And I don't know, I'm not chastising anything. It's just one of those things where it's like sometimes it feels like the children are written like adults instead of written
Mm.
like maybe instead of being written like a 15-year-old who might act like she's 19. She's more a 15-year-old acting like she's 35.
Okay.
Like mentally, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, it's a minuscule gripe, but it's just something that one thing I didn't really like.
It is, but it isn't, because I feel like kids today don't respect their elders the way they used to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember back in high school, if I said or did the wrong thing to a teacher and they called my mom, I knew I had a problem. I had a
Mhm.
major problem. I
Yeah.
was crying before I got home because I knew I had a problem doing when I got there.
Yeah.
And I feel like kids these days they don't know what those problems are.
Yeah.
It's like,
Do you think life's too easy? So then, you know, easy problems feel like big problems?
no, I feel like parents got too lazy.
It depending on
I feel like
depending on
parents had,
everything else to raise their kids?
yeah, I feel like parents of today had their children too young while they were still trying to develop themselves.
Yeah.
So their children became their friends while growing up,
Yeah.
versus, hey, this is my child, be a parent and raise them.
Yeah.
So when they get, the children are 20 and the parents are 30, you know what I'm saying?
Shit.
Shit. They're,
And your
they're,
kid in 7th grade?
they're both in the club popping bottles. They're like,
Well, and so like I mean, in regards to the show, like, and the only reason I bring this up is because there's times where I feel like I should worry for the child's safety, but in the way she's portrayed or that she comes across,
mhm,
it's almost like you can fend for yourself just like these other adults are.
yeah.
And it's one of those things where I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm not as connected to the idea of her safety as I
Mm.
should be. But I mean, again, it's first episode. Getting introduced to her.
Well,
But
I
I'm
feel the
hoping they
same
don't
way,
scare me.
because if they're trying to portray her as a child, she didn't act like a child.
Mhm.
So in my mind on the first episode, like I said, why is she so important?
Yeah,
Let her die. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? She's sitting there trying to stab you, and she's being smart, whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
Shit, fuck her. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
and then Joel's taking it like she's got all the answers. Like the way she talked to him when she figured out the fucking the code on the radio,
Hmm.
and he just kind of took that like, all right, I'm just gonna let this young girl like treat me like I don't know shit.
Okay. Well, with that being said, remember his daughter. There's a scene where she gets his watch fixed,
Yeah.
and she uses his money,
Mhm.
and
And
he's
she said,
happy
yeah, he's
about.
never gonna use. Yeah, he's like, you were never gonna do it.
Yeah, you weren't gonna do it for yourself. I did it for you,
Mhm.
and it's like you're allowing children to step into mature situations.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say adult, but mature situations.
Yeah.
And when they do something that actually fits what was supposed to happen, then they got that leeway to keep being that person.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they still like Hot Wheels and Barbies.
Yeah. I want to look at her and be like, thank you. You ever steal again, I'm beat your ass.
Pretty much.
I mean, that's kind of
Pretty
how it
much.
should go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you
Like,
for getting my watch fixed. But if you ever steal from me again, your ass is getting whooped.
yeah.
That's it.
Because they have to understand the concept. Okay, I understand why you stole. I
Yeah.
appreciate what you did, but you stole.
Yeah.
You know, there's a difference.
Yeah.
And I feel like that we talked about this before in other movies and everything else. I feel like that concept in Hollywood with children is gone.
Yeah.
They're allowing children to be too grown, which
Yeah.
allows children watching it to be grown.
Yeah. To act like that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I really hope I build. Really hope I build up a connection to Elle to the point that I feel like her safety is of value. Because as of right now, I just feel like she's part of the crew. I don't get a sense of her safety is dire.
Hmm.
Not yet.
Excuse me. I'm still stuck on the lady with the busted eye.
Yeah,
I really think she has a hidden agenda.
I think so too. I think so too. She just seems like she's like she. It seems like her moves are being made like 2 steps ahead for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know yet. Where do you think they're trying to get the girl to?
Oh, where was the brother at? In Wyoming or Wisconsin?
I forget. I gotta pay more attention. It's not that I didn't pay attention. I saw this thing a couple days ago, like maybe 4 days
No,
ago.
because they,
And
they follow the map and they take 90, go
yeah,
figure,
hmm
all the way through, and they get to Chicago and they cut up. And I really want to say it's Wisconsin or Wyoming's too far west. I don't think it's that far. I think it's Midwest. So I want to say Wisconsin.
yeah,
But
yeah,
the question is why?
yeah.
Like, why is she so important? What antidote does she have in her skin? Because they're already showing that she's
There's
been
something. Yeah,
attacked and she's
yeah,
functional.
yeah. So there's something about her that's special. We just don't know what yet. I'm
Hmm.
curious to find out what. But yeah. Hmm. I'm curious to find out what's out there in this world because clearly they have quarantine zones where
Hmm.
people feel safe. So what is out there that's so unsafe that actually did you notice that at the end of the fucking episode? At the end of the episode, when they're walking through Boston, like the
Hmm.
camera pulls back and it shows them walking, but on top of the building, there's a motherfucker just standing there, like, you know, yelling to the sky, like he's,
I missed that.
yeah, it's a dude, like he's on the rooftop and he's like, he's yelling like he's like doing a rock concert or some shit.
Hmm. Okay. Was
Yeah.
he singing Sweet Caroline?
Nah, nah, nah.
It is Boston. Just I had to ask,
It could be Aerosmith. Aerosmith's from Boston.
or New Edition, or New
New
Kids
Kids
on
on
the
the
Block.
Block.
Yeah.
He up there, Candy Girl, rock my world. Just like, yep, yes, I do.
Oh man.
Oh, okay, yeah, but okay. So are you like you said? Okay, so after this initial conversation, are you excited at the prospect of episode 2? What do you think is going to happen in episode 2?
Honestly, I'm not excited. I don't know what to think, but I'm gonna watch it
I,
because I just don't know.
I think in episode 2, I don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, they're going to make their way through Boston a little more, but I think we're going to get introduced to whatever it is that everyone's trying to avoid or scared of. Whatever is out there that's
Hmm.
affecting whatever the virus or that fungus does to people, I
Hmm.
think we're gonna find out what happens
Mm.
to them like now.
I'm guessing that the second episode probably gonna lead to the journey getting to wherever they're
Yeah,
going in the Midwest,
yeah, yeah,
and I hope the little girl's character comes more in depth, which I'm pretty sure they won't show,
yeah.
but at least a little something,
Mhm.
and take it from there.
All right. Well, that being said, This is episode 1 of Sarath and Chris's movie therapy podcast,
Side
Side
B.
B. So come join us next time when we got episode 2 of The Last of Us.
This is what we're doing.
Yes, sir. We'll see
And
how it goes.
yeah, we'll see how it goes. If
All
you guys
right.
feel the same way, put it in the comments.
Yep.
Because, you know,
Take this journey with us. Hopefully,
Yeah,
we ain't the last of us listening to this shit.
yeah, for real.
All right. As always, it's your boy Sarath, aka Makazi.
And your boy Chris Brown, aka Red Fort Delta. Y'all be safe.
We out.